So this is the weekly podcast, weekly review of the podcast, Mind the Talk. Hello, everyone. I'm Aki, and
I'm
you're
Karinya. Hello.
Karina. Yes, we're talking about our teachers' week of this time. So, what happened in your life? What happened in your teaching this week?
Uh, in my teaching week was a lot of work because we had a lot of tests that kind of accumulated in different institutions and universities. So I'm just working, correcting and giving grades and yeah, try to also incorporate the mistakes that I have found into the next lesson so that we can, you know, look at
Yeah,
the
maybe
grammar
talk
that
about it.
wasn't, that the grammar wasn't understood at that time, or there was a lot of similar mistakes. So I would like to talk to my students about this so they can learn this again, or hopefully learn this for the next time, that this is not how it's done. And also, it tells me that I probably didn't do a well enough job teaching this particular grammar or this particular word or whatever. So, yeah.
But you
How
have
was
to
your
do the
week?
test, right?
Yes, I have to. This is from the
Mm-hmm.
university. I'm not sure if that's from the university itself or from our department, but I think the department says you have to at least do 5 or 6 tests and
Oh,
presentations or
okay.
whatever. So it's not my
Oh, I
test.
see. I
Yeah.
see. It's kind of interesting to think about like what kind of tests you need to do, like what questions comes up. Because I personally don't really have to do it when you're teaching in a language school. That's a good thing about it. Like it's quite simple in that sense.
Yeah,
But
wonderful.
once in a while yeah, but I feel like when you have the kind of push to the students where they have to give everything within the limited time, it's kind of good as well because my students, when they don't have to do it and they have like this much amount of time preparing for this and that, and they don't have that much, I don't know, opportunity to practice writing except for like in class things as a like homework and stuff,
That's true.
then sometimes it's maybe a bit too relaxed all the time. But
Well, but I assume your students just want to learn the language, right? And they do this
yeah.
out of their free will.
Hmm.
But at the university, it's kind of within their studies. So they have
Yeah,
to
true.
have some, I don't know, level checks once in a while.
Yeah.
They don't,
Like it
I
or
mean,
not.
of course, they freely want to study, probably, maybe not. Maybe society is forcing them. I don't know. But it's kind of a bit less fun at the
Hmm.
university because there is this bachelor degree or master degree that they're pursuing instead of
Hmm.
just like a language school where people are just interested because I don't know what your students are interested in Japanese. Are there a lot of anime fans or a lot of J-pop fans or history, samurai maybe? What are
So
they
I feel like
interested in?
80%, 90% of the time I just hear animes. And I'm
Oh,
like,
really?
okay, that's great. I'm so useless in that sense because I'm not really an anime follower. And every single time I learn from my students about anime, I'm like, oh, okay,
Wonderful.
that sounds like an interesting story. I might check it, and I never do. But like sometimes I get some like traditional part, like the people who are interested in the Japanese history and all those things.
Hmm.
And I probably have a little bit more to say in that sense. Um, yeah, I've never heard of J-pop fans. I
Oh,
have a
really?
friend who was learning Japanese at that time when we were talking to each other, and she told me that she thinks Japanese, like J-pop, is quite terrible compared to K-pop. So nobody would be interested in that.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
different reasons, but still somehow structured as well.
Yeah. Well, things have changed, haven't they? I mean, I'm old now, so I don't know. I'm not into what's
Yeah.
hip right now or what's not hip. Um, because I've
I think,
already lived
yeah.
in Korea and K-pop was really huge at that time. And I think it overtook probably a little bit more. So people started to learn Korean because of
Mhm.
music instead of Japanese because of music. So it's interesting that you say
Ah,
80% is anime. So that's probably now the big pull factor for Japan to learn Japanese, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna stay for quite a long while like this. Like, I don't know, nobody would learn Japanese because of the technology and the toilets that would be, I don't know,
I mean,
opposite
yeah.
that.
Why would they
But
for the toilets? Although they are amazing, but yeah, isn't it?
but
Unless,
how's it in
yeah, I'm
how's
sorry.
it how's it for German? What's the motivation? Because I think
That's
in
a very
Japan,
good question. I have
yeah.
no idea. Usually, it's very weird people that want to learn because they are interested in classical music. They play an instrument almost on a professional level. So they want to at least go to Austria or Germany and study further, or they want to get a job at an orchestra. Then there are people that want to go to Berlin because Berlin is very hip for a lot of things, for design, for, I don't know, I had a hairdresser that was like, Berlin hairdressing is now really popular, which I have no idea that this exists. And some more, if usually those two languages at universities get compared, it's German and French. And we have more boys choosing German because of technical stuff, and more women or girls choose French because it's romantic and Paris and all of this. So I think some might want to go and work, at least in Japan, for a German car maker, or want to go to Germany for, I don't know, studying at Stuttgart with Porsche or so for a
Hmm.
while, like an internship. And you
Or
have,
for sausages and beer.
yes, you have sometimes oddballs that want to become a Meister at beer brewing or what is it, bread making. So you have sometimes those odd people, but they're not a lot. That's quite a
Uh-huh.
good question. Why a lot? And sometimes it's just really odd that, like, my grandfather was German, so I want to learn more about Germany. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. This is why you study German studies. Okay. Yeah.
Hmm. I
It's very
think
interesting. It's so
in the
different.
yeah, in the past there were a lot of interest towards Germany and Japan because of the medical thing. I think
Yeah.
a lot of the vocabulary and the system came from Germany, and that's why it was, I think, mandatory to learn German as well. And I
Yeah.
remember hearing from my mom when she was new in Japan and she had some kind of health issue and then she had to go to the hospital. And the how to say the doctor would talk to her obviously about like the issue and situation.
Mm.
And it was an interesting experience for her because it was full on Japanese, or supposedly the grammar itself was Japanese, but the words used there was German. So she somehow understood very well what was
Interesting.
going on.
Yeah. I sometimes hear words when people ask me where I'm from because I go to the doctor every 3 months to get my blood checked. And they always ask me, oh, so this is German, like the word Karte, which is Karte in German, which means a card for where you put the information of a patient in. Is that true? I'm not sure because it's not Karte in German.
No, no. I think it's just the wrong friends. Do you say that in
Yeah,
English? I don't know.
yeah, I think so. So,
Like not the direct translation.
yeah. So it's sometimes a bit confusing when they use this. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, but sometimes, and
Mm.
also what I've figured, some German words are found when you go hiking. Like they have words like Gelände or so, then when you go
Yeah.
skiing. And yeah, a few words, especially when you go rock climbing. There are a lot of German words for the instruments that you use. And I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
that's also interesting. I don't understand why, maybe because of the Alps. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah,
quite
would make
interesting.
sense.
Yeah.
I think for
Okay.
me, the week was just all about not too much actually, because I'm currently at this house, like in Germany, and I'm about to move to Hungary for 3 months or something for the course. But I've been just preparing for this and that, and that's basically it. I remember I talked to one of my students who just started learning Japanese with me now, and we had like one or two classes where we listened to some audios for the first time. And I can see that it's still difficult for him, but it's quite understandable because he just started off and you wouldn't understand it right away. But like it's kind of a bit of interesting challenge for me to get him to the level where he would understand what he's listening. I think it just needs a lot of repeated practice. But yeah, that was it. Do you actually slow down the speed of the speech when students don't understand, or do you just repeatedly play it over and over again until they understand?
Um, when I talk, obviously I talk slower. And when you have a video on YouTube, for example, you can slow it down. And it's sometimes funny to do so because then it sounds like they're drunk. But then students usually understand it because I at least listen to if they have problems twice, if it's an audio. And if they still don't get it, maybe a third time, but then I have to slow it down because they don't understand a certain word that is needed to answer the question. So maybe in parts I slow it down and then they
Mhm.
understand. That's a good question. Do you do that or do you just keep going?
Well, what I usually do is I play the normal speed as it's recorded in the book for maybe two times.
Mm.
And then if my students don't understand, I just stop it sentence by sentence and then talk about the sentence. I don't really like slowing down, although I do that sometimes as well when my students want that. But I'm not too sure if that's really that effective if you slow down. I think they understand maybe better and they get used to the language a little bit more when it's like when they have pauses between sentences, phrases, and they have time to think once in a while.
Yeah, but sometimes it's just too much, especially
Mm.
with some German workbooks. They use pretty normal speed, even in the beginning, which is just too much for students. When they try to repeat it by themselves, I can only hear like one or two syllables. So, I mean, okay, this sentence, they got this much of the sentence. So I really have to slow it down or to, like you have to get some pauses in. But even then, sometimes it's too fast. So I can't
Mhm.
catch a great pause. So I rather slow it down in that case, but not that often. But I tell my students that if they really don't understand, they should by themselves slow it down so they can just understand it. And with time, they probably will be able to understand it. Hopefully. I hope so.
Yeah,
Is he a
yeah.
beginner?
Yes, he is. He's
Mm,
an absolute beginner, so
okay.
it's kind of
Oh,
stressful for him because he's like very much interested in the language and wants to learn as fast as quickly as possible. But it still takes time. Like it happened to me when I was learning Russian. Like I'm
yeah.
still learning, but in the beginning, I wanted to understand and be able to speak like so fast, so quickly, like right now, right away. But obviously, it doesn't work out. It takes
Yeah.
a lot of time
It
and
takes
practice.
time to get used to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually tell my students, please remember how long it took you to speak in your own language at an academic level. I mean, you're still
Hmm.
struggling with a few words when you're at the university, right? So might
Yeah,
take a while.
absolutely.
Yeah. So even kids that
Definitely,
are
for
7
sure.
or 8 and they are talking, um, their vocabulary is limited and they do make mistakes. And they have had time, 8 years, with an environment where they speak their language every day and they listen to it every day and they repeat it every day and they're still not 100% perfect. So
Hmm.
it takes a while. It does. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I
But I
try
feel
to
like when it
encourage them.
comes to listening, one thing that might help a lot of people is like when you do shadowing, like hear the sentence and then you just try to repeat the sentence
Yeah.
as accurately as possible. And I did it all the time because I'm lazy and I don't want to like have too much grammar practice and stuff like that because I lose the motivation easily that
Mm.
way. But if you're just shadowing, you don't even have to think about things. You just need to repeat as you hear it, and then that's your practice for the day. And yeah, it's actually quite effective, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it got quite a bad reputation, especially in English-speaking countries, because
Mm,
it's not challenging enough. But I think it is. The automation really helps you to get used to structure and you remember the structure, and then you can go, oh, this was the grammar point. Now I get it. So I don't see it that harshly as some other people. I think it's too dumb. No, it's not. This is
yeah,
what kids
true.
do. They repeat all the time. And probably that's a good method. Yeah, if they do so,
Exactly.
yeah. So I
And they're,
started a few
yeah.
years ago to make my students repeat chunks that are, I don't know, quite often used, like gern geschehen in German.
Hmm.
So they just get used to it and they can use it, even if they don't understand 100% what it means. But, you know, later they can figure out, oh, that's what it meant.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like first, when you have like some, I don't know, materials, resources to refer to in your own head, then
Yeah.
it's not gonna be that struggling, and you're gonna
Yes.
have a lot of aha moments
Yeah,
later
absolutely.
on.
And
Yeah.
I think it is proven by studies that students do have their own little lexicon in their head, and they do have their own theories about how this works and doesn't work. So whatever helps them. If it helps you to repeat all the time, then do it. It's effective. You speak
Hmm.
like 100 languages, so you must be doing
Yeah.
something right.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yeah. So
Like, and also you can practice the pronunciation, listening, and also grammar at the same time,
yeah,
vocabulary, all those things are included. So maybe
all
it's
of it. And you
quite
take
good.
away this fear that some people have, they don't understand me on it because you're just repeating something. You don't have to be
Hmm.
understood.
Yeah,
So it's basically
exactly.
every training minus fear, which is a good thing, isn't it? Yeah.
True. So that's
Wonderful.
basically our recommendation of the week.
Yes. Please
Do
listen.
the shadowing practice.
Yeah. Listen and
Yeah,
repeat it. And you get faster at it too when you do
yeah,
it. Yeah.
great,
So
great.
one thing I wanted to ask, is it hot in Germany? Because I heard there is a heat wave.
Mm-hmm. It's been quite hot, especially for me because I've been in Ireland for the past 9 months, and
Mm,
it's been just like rain, wind, cloud, and that was it most of the
okay.
time. Just 1 week of sunny week, and then I got sick of it in the third day. But when I came to Germany, the weather was quite warm. Like
Mm,
we had 28 degrees or 30,
okay.
31, something like that. It's generally like this the whole time. And like today, like in the morning it was raining. Right now it's just cloudy, just to give me the sense of Ireland. But mostly it's quite hot, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've heard.
But in Japan it's also pretty hot, right? At the
Well, yes.
moment, around
It
Tokyo.
is.
Like obviously.
Yeah, I think tomorrow is in Tokyo for June. Tomorrow is June 1st, isn't it? For June, it's
Mhm.
33 degrees.
Crazy. Oh my
It is
gosh.
crazy because it's only end of May, start of June. So it's already over 30 degrees, kind of a lot. It just
I keep
climbs from
telling
there.
Yeah, I keep telling my friends that I don't think I have the right, I don't know, the skill to survive Japanese summer anymore. I
I
lost it
understand.
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ireland,
I
me. have poisoned you.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
all the rest of the countries that I've been, like it gets quite hot in Budapest. I think they would
I
generally
think so.
have
Yeah.
these quite a few days
Isn't it
of
Budapest
around
and
40
Vienna
degrees.
the same? They are kind of the same altitude, and it's really hot
Maybe
sometimes there.
similar.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
which
it
is
doesn't
crazy.
last too long and it's not that humid, so it's quite,
Yeah,
for me, it's easier than in Japan. So
probably. Yeah, the humidity really sucks the life out of you here.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I would probably go
So
to Sapporo and just enjoy a German
uh,
summer as
that
close
would
as
be
it
great.
comes to it. Yeah. Okay.
Cool,
Wonderful.
cool. Yeah, I think that was it for today. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll talk to each other in a week once again for the weekly review, and the rest would be coming in the week sometime. So keep an eye on that. And thanks for the chat. Thanks
Yes.
for listening. Thanks for watching, and
And if
see you
you
next
have
time.
any recommendations, please just write them down when you learn a language, what helps
Yeah,
you, because it's probably different for every person. So would be
yeah,
wonderful to
true.
read.
Great. So thanks a lot and see
Thank
you next
you
time.
for listening. Bye
Bye.
bye.